All right, welcome to Grace Game Day. We apologize for the delay with the network conditions. Um, Josh, I think these pine trees are not kind to our networks.
No, they don't. They don't like us very much out here in the woods.
It's 1-0 Brook Hill, as Brook Hill got the leadoff runner on base with a base hit, and then a balk sent him to second. He stole third.
And then a runner interference, I think.
Yes. Yeah, the throw down to third, glanced off the glove and went a few feet behind him. And in the process, really good acting job by the base runner for Brook Hill to really draw attention to it. There was some interference there, but he did a good job making sure that the umpire saw it, and he got the call. And so that plated their runner. The fly ball right there is going to be the third out. And so Brook Hill plates one in the top of the first, and we're headed to the bottom of the first. Grace coming to bat for the first time tonight, trailing 1-0.
Beautiful night for baseball.
It is. It is. Bear with me for a moment. I'm getting everything reset. Had everything set, and then just the network did not like what we were doing. So we're going to take a break as Brook Hill is taking the field. We'll be back for the bottom of the first right after this.
Looking for a place to belong? At Hope Church, you'll find practical teaching, genuine community, and a fresh start each week. No perfect people required. Whether you're exploring faith or ready for your next step, there's a seat for you in person or online. Come as you are and leave encouraged. Start your week with hope. Visit yourhope.church.
Hot spots packed next time. All right, welcome back to Grace Game Day. Grace trailing 1-0 as they are getting ready to come to bat for the bottom of the first. Due up for the Cougars is David Wallace, Wyatt Buchanan, and Slade Etheridge, the 1, 2, and 3 batters. All right, here we go. David Wallace leading off. First pitch to him is low and outside. It's going to be ball one. Wallace, the shortstop. And a shot toward the shortstop. Fields it on a hop, throws across, and Wallace is retired. That's going to bring Wyatt Buchanan to the plate. First pitch to Buchanan on the outside corner. called a strike one. And the sprinklers just went off. Right as he was getting ready to go into his motion, the sprinklers just went off. And now they are dying back down. And so we're going to go back to an 0-1 count to Buchanan.
You don't see that every day.
And here's the 0-1. Swing and a foul tip. And it's going to be an 0-2 count now to Buchanan. It's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three, as Buchanan goes down on strikes. So that's going to bring Slade Etheridge to the plate. First pitch to him, low and inside, 1-0 the count. He's set. Kicks and fires. Check swing, called strike two. Or excuse me, strike one. Evens the count at 1-1. Swing and a miss. That's going to be strike two. 1-2 the count now. Ben Bratz on the mound for Brook Hill, looking to execute a shutdown inning here. Fouled off at the plate, so Etheridge stays alive. Etheridge, the catcher, steps back in. Here's the 1-2. Outside ball two. That ball got away from the catcher. Nobody on base, so no damage done there. It's been 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Here's the 2-2. Breaking pitch, called strike three. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 bottom of the first for the Cougars. And so we're heading to the second inning. Brook Hill 1, Grace nothing. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this.
You have cancer. Sure wasn't expecting that. Not with these two. But my team at Texas Oncology has been right there for me. They said my family is a huge part of my treatment plan. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Right here is where I want to be. I'll see you in the morning.
Before the glitch.
Yes. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. And again, we apologize for the network issues. All of our normal stuff did not work. And so we ended up piggybacking off of the hotspot that was being used for the scoreboard operation here. And so now we'll know. Now we'll know for next time. And it's a beautiful evening for baseball.
Yeah, it's just perfect weather today. You got a nice breeze.
Noah Bigby on the mound for the Cougars tonight. Grace wearing their white jerseys with blue pinstripes, blue numerals and lettering. Brook Hill in their gray uniforms with the navy blue lettering with orange piping on it. And so now coming to the plate, Leighton Waters. And that's going to be a pitch that comes in just a little bit high. 1-0 the count. Bigby comes set again. Outside corner called strike, evens up the count at 1-1. Lined and nice catch.
That one came on quick.
Yeah, there was definitely some exit velo on that one. Bentley was there. And I almost caught that out of self-defense.
Yeah, I think you did. Just pure reflex that time.
Bigby delivers just outside, ball 1. Connor Hayes at the plate. Hayes is the DH. That's going to be a called strike. 1-1 the count. It's going to be a ground ball towards second base. Buchanan is there, skips the throw to first, and it gets past Burton. And it goes into the dugout, so Hayes will be awarded second base.
I think that throw might have gotten away from Buchanan.
Yeah, that's one that kind of sticks in your hand a little bit as you go to deliver it and you just didn't throw it into the ground. He had plenty of time, so he wasn't rushing. It just, you got to wonder if there was just some dirt that got stuck in there. Or that's going to be ball 1. 1-0 the count now to Blake Witten. As now Hayes is on second base. 1 away here in the top of the second. Brook Hill leading 1-0. That pitch finds the strike zone for a 1-1 count. Some nice action on that pitch there.
Yeah, good looking throw.
Runners going. Etheridge throws down to third. And we're waiting on the call there. He's safe. Yeah. So Witten back in. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be fouled down the right field line. Out of play. Garrison gave it a look, but breaking pitch stays high. That evens the count up at 2-2. Brook Hill with a base runner on third, 1 out in the inning. That's going to be fouled off again. Just pretty much the exact same
Yeah, I was going to
spot.
say, that one might have landed on top of the other ball.
Yeah, that was definitely right to the exact same spot. Garrison shading a little bit toward the right field line now, as Witten has put 2 of them in that spot. Now I want to hit to right center. Burgess giving chase. He's not going to get there. It's in the gap. So the runner is going to come home, and Witten is going to cruise into second base with a double.
Yeah, well played that time. As you called it, he hedged towards that baseline, and then he hit the next one right in that hole.
And so now that brings Dallas Clements to the plate. He shows bunt. Pitch is outside. It's going to be ball 1. Strike 1 on the inside corner. That was a pretty pitch from Bigby. Witten takes his lead from second. Buchanan shading over that way to cover second. Bigby gives it a second glance. Now he steps off the rubber and chases Witten back to the bag. One and one the count. 1 on base, 1 out. Bigby kicks and delivers. And that's off the glove of Etheridge. Looked like it was really close to that strike zone. I think maybe Etheridge not catching that didn't do him any favors to get a call. So it's a 2-1 count on what looked like a really nice pitch. Low and away, ball 3. As Brook Hill has already turned their lineup over, Clements being the leadoff batter in their lineup. And once again, Bigby gives a look back. Witten dives back in safely. Here's the 3-1. Hit into center field, a lazy fly ball. Burgess makes his way under it, makes the catch. Witten tags from second and it goes back. So now 2 away. And Witten remains at second as the Cougars are going to try to attempt to hold it to 1 run this inning. Daniel Yates steps in for the guard. Outside corner, strike 1 call. Witten with a sizable lead out there. Now he's off and running. Etheridge guns down to third, and he's out. Nice play there. Great job by Bentley receiving that. And so that's going to bring this half inning to a close. Brook Hill 2, Grace nothing. Grace coming up in the bottom of the second. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this.
A boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor. With me tonight, Josh McElhaney. Grace trailing Brook Hill 2-0 as we go into the bottom of the second. Due up for the Cougars is Bigby, Garrison, and Burgess, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in this lineup tonight. Ben Bratz on the mound for Brook Hill. Executed a 1-2-3 inning in the first. And we are set. That first pitch comes in low, ball 1. Noah Bigby batting right-handed. And that's going to be on the outside corner for a called strike, evens the count at 1-1. That's going to be a called strike 2. So the count on Bigby now 1-2. Bratz is set. Here's the 1-2. Grounded right back up the middle. Fielded, throws, and he's going to get him. So Bigby goes down on a grounder to second. That brings up Colton Garrison. That pitch is a little bit low. Down the left field line, tailing away and foul. So it's going to be 1-1 now, the count. Here's the 1-1. Just off the strike zone. It's going to be 2-1. Good hitters count here for Garrison. That's a swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2-2. Burgess waiting on deck. And just inside. And the count goes full. That pitch right down the middle, and it froze Garrison for strike 3. So 2 away. Caleb Burgess at the plate. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. And that is hit into the gap in left center. And a diving catch in left center for the 3rd out. So 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 2nd. And we're headed to the 3rd. Brook Hill 2, Grace nothing. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. 2 innings in the books, and it is 2-0 Brook Hill. Grace still looking for their first hit. Caleb Burgess very near to having the first hit of the game for the Cougars, but a diving catch in left field. So Daniel Yates will lead off. He was the batter at the plate when the runner was caught stealing to end the inning. And so he is back at the plate now. Laced into center field. That's over Burgess' head. He chases it down as Yates cruises into second base. And he'll hold up there. Yates definitely got a hold of that one. And that brings the pitcher, Ben Bratz, to the plate. Grounded to the shortstop side, fielded, makes the throw across, and gets him. The runner holds. So Bratz retired. 1 away in the inning. Nice scoop and throw from David Wallace. Strike call on the outside corner, 0-1. Levi Visser at the plate. That ball was called a ball just outside. One and one the count. In the dirt, nice block by Etheridge there to keep it in front of him. Holds the runner at second. So now 2-1. Bigby turns, and there's nobody there. Chases Yates back.
So that's Buchanan now on the mound.
Oh, it is, isn't it? I didn't even notice that. That's a good catch, because I sure didn't see it.
I had a little bit of an advantage because when I was walking out, I saw him warming up.
There you go. 2-2 the count. Runner on second, one away here in the top of the third. And now he turns and goes through a throwing motion to second, but once again, nobody there. Yates gets back to the bag. So Buchanan is now on the mound for the Cougars. Bigby is at second. Here's the 2-2. Low, ball three, so the count is full. And you got to wonder with the stride that Yates has if Brook Hill is going to send him here on a 3-2 pitch. And the throw would have been in time off the glove of Burgess. It was wide to the shortstop side. Hayes had stepped out to a large lead. But we'll set up and do this again with a full count. 3-2, one away. Outside ball four. And so now runners at first and second with one away. And that brings Gabe Tatum to the plate. And he hits one high into shallow left field. Stinson is there to make the catch. And there's two away. Jake Godbold coming to the plate for Brook Hill. 2 on, 2 out, top of the third. Low, ball one. Nice job by Etheridge to slide and keep that in front of him. You don't want to give up any free bases right here with 2 outs.
Yeah, because he was going on that one.
Hayes is taking off like he's fixing to go and then stopping. He's done that the last 2 pitches. So you got to wonder now if Grace is going to try to bait him into something. Quick delivery, hit into the gap, and it drops. Burgess comes up firing, and it's cut off. Burton came over to cut that off just off the mound. But it is a 1-run double, and Brook Hill leads 3-0. Now Leighton Waters coming to the plate. That pitch comes in high, ball 1. Wyatt Buchanan on the mound. Ground ball shortstop side, fielded by Wallace. His throw across is true. And so they hold them to 1 run again as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Brook Hill 3, Grace nothing. We'll be right back to Grace Game Day. It's easy for me to say. Right back to Grace Game Day after this.
You have cancer. Sure wasn't expecting that. Not with these 2. But my team at Texas Oncology has been right there for me. They said my family is a huge part of my treatment plan. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Right here is where I want to be. I'll see you in the morning.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We are set for the bottom of the 3rd. Lopez, Stinson, and Bentley due up for Grace. Grace trailing this game 3-0. And so far, Brook Hill has put up 1 run in each of the first 3 innings, which, you know, hey, it's 3-0. They've held them to 1 run each inning. Thankfully, they haven't been putting crooked numbers up in these frames. So it is only a 3-0 game at this moment. And the Cougars are still in search of their first hit of the night. And DH Hunter Lopez is going to come to the plate to lead off. Josh, just watching him, and he's used it a couple of times in the game, but as Ben Bratz is out there warming up to start their half inning, he has a pretty wicked breaking ball. It's kind of got a slider action to it, and it's got some serious movement on it. So here's Lopez. Outside corner called strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's just heat that's kind of on the high outside portion of the strike zone. That's hard to get your barrel around to catch up to that.
Hard not to swing at it, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on that one, I mean, he pinpointed that one as that one's low and outside for a ball. But he pinpointed that one. If you don't swing at it, it's called strike. 1-2 the count. That is right down the middle. Rings him up. Called strike 3. So 1 away. And that brings Sam Bentley to the plate. My apologies there. Ethan Burton on deck. Swing and a miss. That was that breaking pitch. It started on the inside corner of the plate, and when it crossed the plate, it was on the outside half of the plate.
Yeah, just great control right now.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Bentley steps back in. 1 away. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So now Ethan Burton coming to the plate. First pitch is looked at for a called strike 1. Count even 1-1 now. 2 outs, nobody on base. Lined up the middle, diving stop by the shortstop, gets up and throws, but it pulls the first baseman off the bag, and the Cougars have their first hit of the game. At least I think that would be ruled a base hit. I don't know what the scorekeeper is going to do with that. I think even a good throw, Burton beats it out for an infield hit.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So Burton breaks up the no-hitter with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Borderline strike there. 0-1 to David Wallace. Bratz delivers. Popped up first base side, foul territory, and he puts it away. And that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd inning as Ben Bratz is cruising for Brook Hill. He has struck out 6 of the first 10 batters he has faced tonight. And we head to the 4th inning, 3-0 Brook Hill. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this.
Looking for a place to belong? At Hope Church, you'll find practical teaching, genuine community, and a fresh start each week. No perfect people required. Whether you're exploring faith or ready for your next step, there's a seat for you in person or online. Come as you are and leave encouraged. Start your week with hope. Visit yourhope.church.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We're starting the 4th inning tonight. Brook Hill leading 3-0. Grace did get their first base runner of the game in the bottom of the 3rd. So they have cracked that portion of Ben Bratz's performance tonight. So hopefully they can build off of that and stack some hits together and get some runs.
Yep, you just need one good hit to change the complexion of the game like this. One good inning. But right now it's going to be about getting through this inning. No more runs allowed.
Connor Hayes will lead off for Brook Hill. He's the designated hitter. And that pitch is high, ball 1. I don't know what Hayes was expecting there, but he was not expecting that pitch. It froze him completely in the batter's box, just off the strike zone. Outside, ball 2. So 2-0 the count now to Hayes. Late swing sends that down the left field line, tailing away, foul. Hayes is guessing in the batter's box right now. He was really locked up by that first pitch, just really froze him in the batter's box. And then on that one, he has just a late hack and sent it foul down the left field line. Here's the 2-1. Called strike, 2-2 the count. As Buchanan continues to battle. That pitch is low. So the count runs full, 3-2 to Hayes, leading off the fourth inning. Swing and a miss. He blew that one right by him.
Good job.
So the leadoff batter is retired, and that's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter, Blake Witten. First pitch to him is a called strike, 0-1 the count. That's one thing you really want to do against this Brook Hill lineup. You want to get ahead of them in the count early. Here's the 0-1. Laced right back up the middle, and it's going to fall for a hit. So Witten is aboard. As now we go back to the top of the lineup with Dallas Clements coming to the plate, leadoff hitter for Brook Hill. Shows bunt, pulls it back as that ball tails way outside. Witten getting a pretty large lead at first. And a quick throw over from Buchanan. He's back safely. Look out. Third base coach needs his head on a swivel down there for that one. 1-1 the count to Clements. Daniel Yates waiting on deck. Breaking ball called strike 2. So Buchanan is ahead of Clements, 1-2. Just outside, evens the count, 2-2. Buchanan steps off and fakes a throw over, and they're calling for a balk. The Brook Hill coach wants one. He's going to go out and talk to the umpire. It was close. He appeared to disengage from the rubber very quickly. That motion did make it close. Very, very short discussion. Brook Hill coach seemed to be okay with what he heard. Here's the 2-2. Outside corner, strike 3 call.
Good throw.
And so now 2 away as Yates comes to the plate. Outside, snap, throw down to first. Safe.
I think that throw caught Burton by surprise.
Yeah. Witten had a big lead. He took a secondary lead with the pitch, and he was not really just quick getting back. Etheridge tried to catch him. We've got time called at the plate. Inside corner, strike 1 call. Buchanan is set. Here's the pitch. Grounded right back up the middle. Takes a wicked hop, but Bigby is able to get it. Flips to Wallace at third. And that's the 3rd out. So we're heading to the bottom of the 4th. Still 3-0 Brook Hill. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this.
You have cancer. Sure wasn't expecting that. Not with these two. But my team at Texas Oncology has been right there for me. They said my family is a huge part of my treatment plan. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Right here is where I want to be. I'll see you in the morning.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day as we get set to start the bottom of the 4th. Grace trailing Brook Hill by the score of 3-0. Wyatt Buchanan will lead off. He struck out in his first plate appearance of the night. Buchanan began the game at second base defensively. And then at the beginning of the for the 3rd inning, they brought him in to pitch. Ben Bratz still on the mound for Brook Hill.
And he has been in control.
He's definitely been in control of this game. I want to say a big thank you to Biomax Spray Foam Insulation for their support of Grace Game Day. If you have any insulation needs, I would encourage you to go talk to Biomax Spray Foam Insulation. Great, great people. Very supportive of things within the Tyler community. Very supportive of Grace community. We're very appreciative of them. Buchanan steps into the box. That pitch, breaking ball just outside, 1-0 the count. Two balls and no strikes. And Buchanan calls time. Steps out of the box, knocks a little dirt out of his left spikes, and back in. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss, strike one. A healthy cut at that pitch from Buchanan. And he fouls that one off over the screen and out of play. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss. And that is another strikeout for Bratz. And the second strikeout for Wyatt Buchanan tonight. Slade Etheridge steps in. He was also a strikeout victim in his first at bat. And he fouls the ball and his bat into the screen. His bat was high in the screen, and it drew some ooze from the Brook Hill fans on that side. I'm sure some of them saw their life flash before their eyes for a moment. He regains control of his bat and steps back into the box. The 0-1 from Bratz, and it hit him. It looked like he was trying to throw a breaking pitch that didn't break. And so Etheridge wears it. And now Bruin Henry will come in to be a courtesy runner. So 1 out and 1 on for the Cougars here in the bottom of the fourth, trailing this game 3-0. And now Noah Bigby steps in. Strike one call. That pitch is inside, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner on. Quick throw over to first. Henry is back. And he goes over again. Once again, Henry dives back in. Breaking ball slapped right back up the middle for a base hit. Henry will stop at second. So Bigby is aboard now with a base hit. So now Colton Garrison, 0 for 1 with a strikeout in his lone plate appearance tonight. Grace cooking with a little something here in the bottom of the fourth. Outside corner, strike one call. Umpire tonight at the plate is generous with that outside corner, but he's done it for both sides, so it's been very consistent.
The whole game, yeah.
And that one just outside, 1-1. Long set, here it comes. That's hit into the gap in right center, ranging over. He's there and he's got it. And the runners, Henry just got caught in a rundown, and he's going to be out at third. So that is a very unconventional double play.
Yeah, I think he just lost the ball.
Yep, that's a very unconventional double play that's going to retire the side. So we've reached the end of 4, and the score remains Brook Hill 3, Grace nothing. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this.
Need a boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. We've got a new pitcher on the mound. That is Sam Bentley. Bentley takes over on the hill as we get ready to start the 5th inning of play.
I'm sorry. The catcher has gone to third.
Oh, that's
We have a new catcher. Burton's catcher.
Yep.
Cannon's on first.
So we've moved a few things around. Wyatt Buchanan was pitching. He goes to first base. Ethan Burton was playing first base. He goes to the plate. Slade Etheridge was catching. Now he goes to third.
And Bentley was third, and now he's pitching.
Yeah, Bentley on the mound. Bigby is going to stay at second, and David Wallace remains at shortstop. And in the outfield from left to right is Stinson, Burgess, and Garrison. Ben Bratz, the pitcher, steps in. The first pitch to him is laced, and Etheridge is there to make the catch. That ball had some exit velo coming off of it, and Etheridge was in the right place and nabbed it right out of the air.
Yeah, that ball was whistling.
Levi Visser looks at ball 1. A little bit high from Bentley, ball 2. Nice change of speed on the pitch there. Kicks and fires, fouled off back into the pine trees. It'll be 2-1 now. High and outside, ball 3. Gabe Tatum waiting on deck. Here's the pitch. Way outside, ball 4. So a runner aboard now for Brook Hill. As Tatum comes to the plate. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Strike zone seems to have gotten tighter. That was apparently high, ball 1. Runner goes. And the ball skips in front of Burton. He'll just eat it. As Visser steals second. 2-0 the count now. Bentley is set. That pitch is high and outside, ball 3. 3-0. And Visser getting a large lead at second base on that last pitch. Low and outside, ball 4. So runners now at first and second, 1 away. And before Jake Godbold steps in, we're going to get a visit to the mound. Coach Kraft going out to talk to his pitcher. Gives him a friendly swat and an attaboy, and everybody returns to their positions. Godbold stepping in for the guard. Bentley now dealing with runners at first and second, 1 away. Routine fly ball to left field. Now charging, and it's going to drop. Runners will only advance 1 base. They had to wait because it was really one that you kind of expect to be caught. But Stinson took a couple of steps back and then was late reversing to come back in. And so now the bases are loaded. Leighton Waters stepping in for Brook Hill. Nice pitch. Strike 1 call. That was a curveball. So with the bases loaded and 1 out, Buchanan is playing in a little bit at first in front of the base runner. Etheridge a couple of steps in at third. And that is lined right between shortstop and third. Long throw, and he got him. Nice job by Wallace. But that does bring a runner across. And we've got time called as the runner that was on third base, which would be Gabe Tatum. He just walked into the dugout.
A little gimpy.
Braxton Pike is going to come out and run for him. So runners at second and third, 2 outs. Connor Hayes stepping in. Swing and a miss at that breaking ball, strike one. Bentley is set. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball one. Evens the count at 1-1. It's really going to be big for the Cougars to hold this to a one-run inning with 2 runners now in scoring position. If you keep it a 4-0 game, you feel like you're still in striking distance. Just outside, 2-1 the count. Ben Bratz, who started the game for Brook Hill, I haven't seen if they've had anybody warming up, but I can't really see down there on the other side of their dugout from where I'm sitting. So remains to be seen if Bratz comes back out. He seemed impenetrable for the first 4 innings of this game, and then suddenly they were able to crack it a little bit here in in the bottom of the 4th. So you definitely want to stay within striking distance. Here's the 3-1. That ball is hit into right field. Garrison is there, and he's got it. And the side is retired. So we're going to head to the bottom of the 5th. 4-0 Brook Hill. We'll be back right after this.
Looking for a place to belong? At Hope Church, you'll find practical teaching, genuine community, and a fresh start each week. No perfect people required. Whether you're exploring faith or ready for your next step, there's a seat for you in person or online. Come as you are and leave encouraged. Start your week with hope. Visit yourhope.church.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor. With me is Josh McElhaney, bringing you varsity baseball action. Grace versus Brook Hill. Ben Bratz back on the mound for Brook Hill. As Caleb Burgess will lead off. It was Burgess with 2 outs in the 2nd inning that hit a looping fly ball into shallow left field, and it looked like it was going to be the first hit of the game for the Cougars, but a diving catch from the Brook Hill left fielder put that away. And so Burgess is going to step in now to lead off the bottom of the 5th, 0-1 at the plate tonight. Bratz kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike one. Bratz has been tough tonight on the mound. Good velocity on his pitches, nice movement, and he's been firmly in control of location tonight, as that's another swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. So Burgess steps back in now, having to protect the plate with an 0-2 count. And that breaking pitch, just so much movement on it.
Just filthy.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Has a lot of break horizontally on that pitch. Swing and a miss. Stinson at the plate.
We just thought we were cracking the armor in that last inning.
And I'm telling you, Stinson, the left fielder, and just all out of sorts on that one as he looked like he was swinging a pool noodle. His back foot was stepping out of the box. Just when a guy has a breaking pitch the way Bratz does, and then he can throw heat with precision location and a swing and a miss, strike three. That's just tough to handle.
Just wheeling and dealing right now.
And right now he is in a rhythm. And so by my count, that's 8 strikeouts for Bratz tonight. That pitch is low and away for a ball. Generous strike call there.
Yeah, that one looked low from our vantage point.
Emmanuel Sanchez at the plate for the first time tonight. 1-1. Swing and a miss. And swing and a miss. And so Bratz comes in and strikes out the side.
Yeah, very methodical and very quick.
And if I'm not mistaken, did he do that on 9 pitches?
It sure felt like it. I think he had one ball in there. So 10 pitches.
Yeah, he's definitely in control. So 3 up, 3 down. Go the Cougars in the bottom of the 5th. We're headed to the 6th. 4-0 Brook Hill. We'll be back right after this.
Need a boost before school? Or a sweet treat to celebrate the big game? Or a great grade on a test? Brewed fresh, poured bold. Lattes, cold brew, espresso, and more. 2 legendary names, 1 sweet shop. Bluebell plus Tillamook equals scoop and grind magic. More than a shop, it's your local hangout. Great coffee, amazing ice cream, even better company. Win or lose, celebrate with a scoop. Game days taste better at Scoop and Grind. Stop by Scoop and Grind today. Located on Highway 64, just 3 miles from the Grace Upper Campus.
I'll see you soon at Scoop and Grind.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day as we enter the 6th inning. Grace trailing Brook Hill 4-0. Emmanuel Sanchez on the mound now for the Cougars. Ethan Burton still behind the dish. Wyatt Buchanan at first. So everything else appears to remain the same. Just Emmanuel Sanchez now on the mound. Blake Witten leading off. And the first pitch from Sanchez is fouled off toward the Brook Hill batter's box, or on deck circle, rather. Oh and 1 the count. Grounded off of Etheridge. Wallace grabs it, throws, and it's going to be off of Burton's glove. And I'll be honest, I don't know how a scorekeeper is going to score that one. That was hot coming in on Etheridge.
Yeah, it was.
And it caromed over to Wallace, but by that time, it would have taken a superhuman throw to get Witten at first. So I score that a hit. A scorekeeper might not. I don't know. Reached on an error? Okay, we're going to call reached on an error then. So runner on first. Shows bunt and then slaps his bat at it and pops it up to short. Wallace is there. And we got one away in the inning. So now here comes Yates. Ground ball. Etheridge goes to second for one. On to first, not in time. So 2 away. And Ben Bratz steps in. High and outside, ball 1. Josh, I'm starving. Nice breaking ball in for strike 1. 1-1 the count, 2 away, runner on first. I went and had lunch with Cohen today, and I was trying to figure out what to get that was close to the school over there, and ended up running through Burger King, which I never do. Runner goes, pitches outside or on the corner for a called strike. He's generous again with that outside corner. So 1-2 the count. Runner is safe at second. But Josh, I got in there and I went through the drive-thru. I was going to order some chicken fries, and I never realized how difficult it was to order a 12 count of chicken fries at Burger King. She repeated back to me numerous times a 4 count, and then when I said no, 12. 4 count, no ma'am, 12, ground ball to Etheridge, bobbles it, and everybody's safe. So runners at the corners now with 2 away.
Did she say, oh, sorry, you wanted 12 4 counts?
No. So then whenever I repeated a 12 count for I don't know how many times, then she says, oh, you wanted 2 4 counts. And I was about to say, you know what, ma'am, don't even worry about it. But there was somebody right behind me as that ball's lined right at Bigby. And he puts it away. So 3 away. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. And we'll stay right here and I'll finish the story. I feel like we've run out of commercials to play. So we'll stay right here. And
we'll be the commercial.
It's story time, okay?
Let's go.
And so I was fully ready. At this point, Josh, I'll be honest, I'm frustrated because I've tried to order this for a while. And we're not really getting the connection here. The communication is not working. And I was ready to say, you know what, ma'am, don't worry about it. I hope you have a wonderful day. But about that time, a truck had pulled in behind me in the drive-thru, so I was stuck. So I told her 3 more times that I wanted a 12 count of chicken fries, and we finally got it. And I ordered my Coke Zero to, offset the fried chicken I was about to eat.
Oh, of course.
And get my food, and I go to the school. And go in, I'm sitting there with Cohen. Now, Cohen had hot lunch today. He had chicken strips from Whataburger. And but as Cohen does, Cohen wanted to try my food.
Your food's always better.
He's like, Dad, I don't think I've ever had Burger King. I said, well, you have. He said, can I try that? I said, yeah, sure. And so he tries my chicken fries. He eats one of them. So now I'm down to 11. And then a couple of minutes later, while he's gnawing away at his chicken tenders from Whataburger, he says to me again, Dad, I want to try another one. I want to try dipping it in my gravy.
Mm.
I was like, okay.
That's
So
reasonable.
I hand him another one. So now I'm down to 10 chicken fries. And I thought that was more food than what it was. I didn't get the meal. I just got the chicken fries. And I just want you to know that 10 chicken fries doesn't really do a whole lot for a grown man. Or, a fully grown man such as myself. And so it was not long, and I was hungry. But by then, I didn't have time to do anything else. So on the way to the game tonight, Josh, I stopped. And I got an energy drink, and I got a little bag of Sun Chips. And I ate those on the way. And I drank my Hawaiian shaved ice flavored Alani. And my Sun Chips are gone. And I'm starving.
You done burned through those, huh?
So we're now ready for the bottom of the sixth. I don't know if anybody cared at all about my story, but that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, if nobody believes you, I'll put it this way. We buy chicken fries at the house for our triplets. We have 2.5-year-old triplets. And those little 2.5-year-old triplets will eat 30 of them. So
There you go. So what you're telling me is I ate like a baby.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, okay, perfect. 1-1 to Ethan Burton, leading off the bottom of the sixth. Grace trailing 4-0. Brought's still on the mound as that pitch skips away. 2-1 the count. Brought's is set. And here's the 2-1. Foul ball out of play down the right side. Evens the count at 2-2 for Burton. You can get this runner on base. You get back to the top of the order with no outs and a runner on. As that ball's high, 3-2 the count. And then, hey, see if you can try to make something happen in this inning.
Yeah, make some noise.
Cut into this lead. Had the opportunity a couple of innings ago, and a little bit of a base running bad decision there cost the Cougars. That's a strike 3 call. So Burton goes down on strikes. So now David Wallace, he is 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to shortstop to lead off the bottom of the first, and then in his second plate appearance, a pop-up to first. Tried to check his swing, but wasn't able to, and it's 0-1. Brotz delivers. That outside corner stretched a little bit right there, and it's 0-2. Low and inside, ball 1. Got to wonder if the reason that he is generous on that outside corner, Josh, is he seems to set up on the inside corner of the plate. So that angle can make pitches appear a little closer than they really are. Swing and a miss, and that's the result of that, is when those pitches on the outside corner like that are called a strike, it makes you chase them.
Mm-hmm.
And so now there's 2 away. As Wyatt Buchanan steps in. He fouls it back over the screen, 0-1. Outside, 1-1.
Good patience that time to not chase.
Especially when you know the pitches in that vicinity are prone to be called a strike tonight.
Yeah, it's been called that way all night.
1-1. He throws that one by him. 1-2. Bratz is set. Fouled off. Buchanan stays alive at the plate. Bratz went to a slide step on that one, and that delivery came quick. He kicks and fires. Strike three call. Breaking pitch. Found the zone. And so that, by my count, Josh, is now 12 strikeouts for Ben Bratz tonight. We're headed to the 7th. 4-0 Brook Hill. We'll be back right after this.
In the heart of White House, there's a place where hope resides. Welcome to Hope Church, where the embrace of hope transforms lives. We are more than a church. We are a refuge of compassion, a haven of strength, and a beacon of light. At Hope Church, you'll discover a community that's here for you. Join us in the journey of hope, where every story matters. Your place of hope, right here, right now.
Welcome back to Grace Game Day, as we have maneuvered our way into the 7th inning of this ball game. Brook Hill with a 4-0 lead over the Grace Cougars. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor. With me is Josh McElhaney for a beautiful evening for baseball.
This little slowing is doing my back no favors.
Right? Ben Bratz has pitched really a masterpiece tonight. He's given up 2 base hits and he hit 1 batter. And that has been the storyline for Ben Bratz with 12 strikeouts. First pitch is high and outside as Sanchez remains on the mound for the 7th inning. Braxton Pike grounds it to second. Bigby is up with it, throws, and they got him. So 1 out here in the 7th. That's going to bring Jake Godbold to the plate. Sanchez delivers, check swing, and I guess that ball did not find the strike zone. 1-0.
Umpires switch sides of the plate here.
Ground ball to second. Bigby is there. Sends it over to Buchanan at first for out number 2 in the 7th. Now Leighton Waters comes to the plate. Yep, this umpire sets up on the inside corner of the plate. Want to know the count. Generous with the outside corner, but he wasn't that generous on that one. That ball was low and away. 1-0 the count. Sanchez facing Waters. Breaking ball didn't break down into the zone. Stayed high, 2-0. way outside, ball 3. So 3-0 the count to Waters. And that pitch was real close on the inside corner, but it did not draw the call. So ball 4 puts a runner on first base now with 2 outs. And that is going to bring Jace Schneider to the plate. And he drives it into the ground towards short. Wallace throws high, and a nice job by Buchanan to go up and get that and be able to swipe down with a tag as the runner went by. So that's 3 outs. We're headed to the bottom of the 7th. 4-0 Brook Hill. We'll be back right after this.
You have cancer. Sure wasn't expecting that. Not with these two. But my team at Texas Oncology has been right there for me. They said my family is a huge part of my treatment plan. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Right here is where I want to be. I'll see you in the morning.
Here we go. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor with me, Josh Mack. Brook Hill 4-0. And if you're going to do it, you got to do it now. Due up in the bottom of the 7th is Etheridge, Bigby, and Garrison. There's Grace. It's now or never to string together some hits and try to get some runs across the plate. Ben Brotz back on the mound, giving up just 2 hits tonight. The only other base runner that he has allowed tonight was when he drilled the leadoff batter of this inning, Slade Etheridge. So 2 hits and a hit by pitch is the only blemish on Brott's record tonight, as he has put together a really nice performance, striking out 12 Cougars at the plate. Etheridge to lead off. And he grounds the first one down the line, a fair ball. Etheridge turns big at first, and he'll hold up there. So a base hit there for Etheridge to lead off the bottom of the 7th. That brings up Noah Bigby. Bigby 1 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to second in his first at bat and hit a single to center field in his second at bat. Slide step, quick pitch, strike 1 call on the outside corner. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 0-2 the count to Noah Bigby. Etheridge was dancing over there at first base with a big lead. Brook Hill catcher jumped up and hollered, "Step off." Now a throwback, and they got him. So Etheridge picked off at first. One away here in the bottom of the 7th. Still 0-2 to Bigby. And that is strike 3.
And just like that, you go from leadoff runner on base,
One on and no out to
nobody on and 2 outs.
strikeout number 13 for Ben Bratz.
That's absurd.
So now the batter for the Cougars, Colton Garrison. That's a strike call on the outside.
That strikes on
That
this side.
was the flower bed on the corner of the house.
Getting a little wider over here. There it goes again.
Strike 2 call on the outside corner, and the Cougars are down to their final strike. Garrison steps back in. And Bratz blows it by him for strike 3. And his 14th strikeout of the night.
Good night.
Ends the game. So Grace falls to Brook Hill by the score of 4-0. On just really a brilliant performance by Ben Bratz. When somebody is dialed in like that on the mound, it's going to be a tough night.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you can do when somebody's wheeling and dealing like that.
Yep. So Grace falls tonight. And so that's it for us. Uh-oh. Somebody just said we lost the sound on the broadcast. What happened? Oh. Maybe it went out momentarily. I don't know. It sounds like it's back on now. Thank you so much for tuning in to Grace Game Day tonight. Once again, your final score, Brook Hill 4, Grace 0. And so Grace is going to regroup, get back out on the field later on this week for a doubleheader on Thursday. And so we hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. We'll see you next time. Until then, so long, everybody.